It's that time of year again, tax season. And while most of us are thinking about getting our paperwork in order, criminals are busy thinking about scams. Today we're going to look at how those scams are getting a major, and I mean major, high-tech upgrade.
So yeah, these are definitely not the same old scams you're used to hearing about. They've gotten a serious upgrade, making them incredibly convincing. Scammers are now using artificial intelligence to write fake emails and texts that look and sound exactly like the real thing. It's kind of scary.
And this isn't some small problem. The IRS reported over 600 social media accounts pretending to be them in just the last fiscal year alone. And get this, many of these fake accounts are using AI to make themselves seem totally legitimate and trustworthy. So how exactly are these smarter scams trying to get to you? Well, they typically use two main digital tricks to grab your attention, and they land right on your phone or your computer.
Okay, so let's break this down. The first method is phishing, which comes through email or social media messages. The second is smishing. That's the one that uses text messages. Phishing scams usually have these sketchy links or attachments that are designed to put nasty software on your computer. Smishing, on the other hand, tries to make you panic with really urgent language, so you'll click a link that steals your information.
And this, right here, is what makes these new scams so incredibly dangerous. For years, we've all been told, oh, just look for bad grammar and spelling mistakes. Well, guess what? That advice is now dangerously out of date. AI lets scammers write flawless, professional-sounding messages that perfectly copy the official tone of the IRS. But here's the good news. No matter how smart the technology gets, the real IRS follows a very strict set of rules, and scammers just can't fake this part. Knowing these rules is basically your unbreakable defense. Okay, the single biggest clue is how they first contact you. If you get an unexpected text, a social media message, or a phone call out of the blue claiming to be the IRS, it's a scam. Guaranteed. The real IRS will almost always start contact with an official letter sent through the mail. Period. Next, you gotta pay attention to the tone. Scammers use fear. They will threaten you with arrest or lawsuits or other crazy legal action to make you panic and do something fast. The real IRS will never do this. If a message makes you feel scared or pressured, it is not from the IRS. And finally, just look at how they're asking you to pay. This one's a dead giveaway. Scammers demand immediate payment through really weird ways, like gift cards, crypto, or wire transfers. The IRS uses standard, official payment methods and will never, ever call you to demand a specific, immediate form of payment. Okay, so now you know how to spot the digital fakes. Let's talk about protecting yourself from fraud in the real world, especially when you're getting help with your taxes or maybe donating to a charity.
A huge red flag you need to watch out for is something called a ghost preparer. This is someone you pay to do your taxes, but then they refuse to actually sign the return or give you their official ID number. By not signing it, they're putting all the legal responsibility for that tax return right on your shoulders, not theirs.
You can stay safe with this super simple three-step check. First, verify your preparer. A real pro will always sign your return and include their preparer tax ID number, or PTIN. Second, if you're donating, verify the charity using the search tool on the official IRS website. And third, this one is so important. Never, ever, ever sign a tax form that is blank or incomplete. So what happens if you do spot a scam? Well, you can actually become part of the solution by reporting it. This helps the authorities track these guys down and shut them down. Here's exactly how you can fight back. If you get a suspicious email, rule number 1 is do not interact with it. Don't click any links, don't open any attachments, and definitely don't reply. Instead, you're going to forward the whole email as an attachment to phishing@irs.gov. This actually helps their investigators track down where it came from. For scam texts, it's a quick two-step process. First, forward the text message to the number 77726. That spells spam on your phone's keypad, and it reports it right to your cell phone carrier. Then just email the details, like the sender's number and what the message said, to phishing@irs.gov. And if a scammer actually calls you on the phone, the rule is as simple as it gets. Just hang up. Don't talk to them, don't give them any information, just end the call. Afterwards, you can report the call to the Treasury Inspector General for Tax Administration, or TICTA, using their hotline. So, the most important takeaway from all of this is to just pause. Before you click, before you reply, before you feel that sense of panic creeping in, just stop for a second and ask yourself this one simple question. Is this really how the IRS does things?
By knowing these rules, you have all the power you need to protect yourself, your family, your students, and your community from these scams that are just getting smarter and smarter. Thanks so much for watching, and please be safe this tax season.